Hi. Good morning, and happy new month. What a precious time to start this Q&A. It is the 1st of May, 2021. And normally we have our live Q&A at the end, the last Saturday of the month. But a lot was happening in the family clinics life, if you like, and we had to pause the event and do it this week. Needless to say, some of you have been part of what has happened to the channel behind the scenes, and it's all good. And we are joyous, if you like, that we're back on air. We had to take a pause to level up or skill up, whichever one you choose to take. But the idea was to make sure that the platform was future proof, and we were able to achieve that in a very beautiful way. And so those behind the scenes who have supported this channel, you have done so well. You've enthused me no end to continue to dig out information that will be a blessing to you and your lovely children. And so going forward, we are good, and I can't thank you enough for all that you've done. So if you didn't already receive a thank you from me, I thank you. The channel thanks you. And there's so many of you who didn't want to be named, who supported the channel in a beautiful way. For you, I also say thank you in public to you and anonymously. Thank you so much. So we're doing the live Q&A, and we are concentrating. I mean, if you received the alert about the live show, you would have noted that we're just focusing on scams done via text, a term that I have already spoken enough. If you click on that video that will show later after the broadcast, you would see and learn about a term called smishing. And so SMS or text messaging scams are on the rise. As you can see from the alert or the description, they're trending. And I have proof. I always have proof. And I think that's the joy of the show, or the channel for that matter. The fact that I'm not just talking at you, I'm experiencing these scams, I'm experiencing these tricks, and I am succeeding to evade these rogues. And so my experience is what I share with you and more. And that way we are armed, to protect ourselves, especially our kids, from these scammers and rogues who don't have a heart. Some of them don't even know they're affecting young ones. They're just doing it blindly. And so we must be on guard. And I'm thankful that we do have the opportunity to learn. Remember, I've said it time without number that the deal with the channel is to help parents and adults alike skill up so that you can empower and guide those young ones as they browse so innocently on the internet. And if you do that, you're not only just protecting them, but you're protecting yourself. And so it's important that we understand that this is, for the future. Our kids will thank us no end for it later on down the line, okay? So I said that there's so many, scams out there, and in many ways, I'm not going to try and make this all wordy. I'll be putting screenshots on the screen so that you can see it, okay? I have several examples where I've received text messages, and I'll show you a sample of those text messages so you can identify them. And then I'll talk about best practices, what you do, how do you identify an SMS scam or a text scam. What do you do if you have responded to the scam, and things like that. So I hope this whole time together, and it's just an hour, counting down, will be beneficial, to you. And don't be shy. Please use the comments to ask questions because it's a live Q&A after all. These are just addressing questions that we have received a long time ago now, because we haven't been on air for at least 4 weeks. But these questions were received, and I did the research required, and I became a pawn or a victim. Well, not a victim. I didn't succumb to the succumb to the scam, but I received it, and that gave me more enthusiasm to dig out information that will help you and I, okay? And the kids especially. Okay, so it's trending scams, SMS scams, text messages scams, and a term called smishing, all right? So let me just go straight to one sample. And this was a message from that, appeared to come from Lloyd's. And this is the message that appeared. You can see it has Lloyd's in capital. If you look at the screen now, you see that it has Lloyd's in capital. And it says a new device has successfully paired onto your account. It gives you the date, the 10th of April. And if this was not you, it says, please visit the link, unauthorizedpayeeconnect.com. And the troubling bit for me is this is from Lloyd's. Okay? Now, if you have a Lloyd's account, needless to say, this will alert you. Okay? This will concern you. If you don't have a Lloyd's account, this shouldn't concern you whatsoever. If you don't have a Lloyd's account, there's nothing else that you need to do but delete the message. Delete it. And possibly, if you can, empty your recycling bin. I don't know whether you do that on mobiles, but the idea is that you delete it if this has nothing to do with you because you don't have a Lloyd's account. Equally, if you have a Lloyd's account, the message says Lloyd, so you have a Lloyd's account, you should be concerned. But in your concern, do not click that link. Do not click the link if you have a Lloyd's account. What you should do, however, is to log on. If you're able to use your online banking, log on and, browse through your activity in your online space, your online banking space. Browse through your activity, recent activity. You can do that. You can go and look at payee information in your online account. I'm able to do that on HSBC, so I suspect you can do the same on Lloyd's. So you go and check your payee information. If there is nothing, no payee that you can't recognize, add in, then there's no bother. Log off online banking, the online banking portal. Come back to the text message and delete it because it is rogue, it is spurious, so it has nothing to do with you. Just delete it, okay? So that is due diligence. Not doing anything about it can be unhealthy because it's still on your phone, okay? And traditionally, as you would learn later when I give you a breakdown of things you should do if you have clicked the link, it could be doing nasty things whilst on your phone. And of course, there's also the possibility that you may click the link out of curiosity, and that could even damage you further. So two things I've just mentioned. If you don't have a Lloyd's account, delete. Empty your recycling bin if that's an option for you. If you do have a Lloyd's account, do not click the link, but go to your online banking portal. Check the recent payee activity. Payee, people you've created, that you've created on your bank portal to pay money to or receive money from. You know how you do. If you don't see that name, because you can see, you won't see the name, There's some that will show you the name, as you will find, and I think that's, or maybe not, but I'll show you that some will have a name. If you can't see that payee name in your banking activity, then come back to your phone, log off obviously from the online portal, come back to your phone and delete the text message. But please do not click the link, okay? Do not click the link. In any circumstance, do not click the link. You must confirm either by going onto your online portal if you have a Lloyd's account, and of course that means it affects you somewhat. If you can't get the information, you're still in need for direction, call your bank, okay? They will give you the information required, but it's important that you do not click the link, all right? So that's one. And believe it or not, I didn't just go online and create that, what you see there. I actually had to cut and paste, or copy and paste, and then put it on there so you can see it. And I'll show you another example from the phone itself, okay? So that's one. A second one, and I don't know where that is, and I don't want to click on the wrong thing, but there's that, and I think there's another. I thought there was. Yeah. And this is another version of the same thing. That's Lloyd's alerts. It says new payee, like I mentioned, some of them come with a name, and that's J. Smith, was successfully added on the same day, 10th of April, 2021. It says if it's not you, please immediately visit the spurious link. Was it verifypayee.security.com? Rogue. So like the other one, do not click the link. And two, if you do have a Lloyd's account, log on and check your payee activity and check whether indeed J. Smith has been added as a new payee. If he hasn't, then obviously it's a scam because the two don't correspond. If J. Smith was added, it should show up in your online portal. If the online portal is not enough for you, then please make sure you reach out to your bank. That's if you have a Lloyd's account. If you don't have a Lloyd's account, just do like I mentioned earlier, delete without delay. Delete. Do not open the link. Okay? Good stuff. All right. So that's Lloyd's. And we have other samples, and I'm going to take my phone to see if I can, give you a live example. It's not really live, but you get the idea. From my phone, all right? Yeah, so I see that it is there, and I hope it will show. You couldn't hear me. Now you can. So you see, the things that I want to pick out when you look at the message that's showing on your screen right now, you see that first and foremost, it's coming from a mobile number. Don't know whether you see that, but it's coming from a mobile number, which appears genuine. In the past, these will come from 0808 or 0300 or 0345, but now they're doing it via mobiles to make it believable, to make it convincing, And this is from Royal Mail, and this is a scam that has affected so many people. Royal Mail, it says your parcel has been held and will not be delivered due to a £1.99 unpaid shipping fee. It now tells you that you should visit the link that you're seeing. This is on my phone. My phone. Okay? So it's coming in, it's dropping in. Many of you may even have this dropping in and you don't even acknowledge it. Someone else could take your phone, even your kids could pick up your phone and by accident click that link. And from what I have gathered, not that I've clicked the link, but that link is packed with malware when you visit it, when it opens up. And that's why the clinic advises that once you receive this message, you delete it immediately. Immediately. Because the link takes you to a malware-packed site. And that's why it's important that you're doing the delete. If it concerns you, however, then you must verify, but still don't click the link. Verify by calling these vendors. Royal Mail have a contact us page. They even allow you chat online when you go to the website. So it's important that you always verify, but don't verify by clicking a link or by dialing a number that the rogue has given you via the text. You must do your calling or your verifying by clicking a website address, the official website address, or going to the official website and clicking the contact information from there. Don't do it from the link or number in the text message that I'm showing you. And that's just one. That's from Royal Mail. You have another one. This is from HSBC. You know, these were text messages that dropped into my phone. Guys, it's dropping into my phone. So you can't say that it's only happening to some other person and that it will never happen to me. I take care of my phone. I don't give information. It comes into phones like mine, and I'm real OTT, but it's dropping in. What I am not doing, and I only took this screenshot because I wanted to show you a sample. You know, it says HSBC Bank. You have authorized a new payee, and this time it's Mr. C. Jones. This was not you. Please cancel via. It gives you the link. You go to the link. It's a malware populated portal. And you go there, immediately things start happening. You won't even see it. It's happening behind the scenes and corrupting your phone accordingly. That's why I'm saying delete, delete, delete. I could go on, delete, delete, delete. All right? Please do not click those links when they come. I recently loaded a video. Again, you can go and check it about WhatsApp. And it's different from the SMS texting thing, but ultimately there's a message. I think I'll just leave you to go to the video. I think that will help. But these smishing attempts, I call it an attempt because it wasn't successful in my own case, but these smishing situations, smishing as I defined earlier, if you are just joining, is you know, using SMS to con you, your children, myself, to releasing personal information when it's unsolicited, or when you have received a text, for example. You don't know the people and they're just asking for information. And by doing what they're asking you to do, you are releasing personal information unknowingly. And that's why it's important that we are careful. We must treat, I've used this example before, and I hope it's now not, you know, overdone. But the way you must treat messages you receive, email, text, and even voice. When you receive messages, you must handle them with care. You can't be multitasking when you are doing online stuff, because it means there's a distraction and you could miss key red flags that will inform you that something is off. And that's why no matter how good and how timely your multitasking you know, prowess is, try not to do it when you are doing serious stuff on your phone. Serious stuff. If you ask me, that's all the time. But there's some who can manage. But anytime you're online, you must make sure that you're paying attention to everything you're doing. And that's why, the reason why that's important, what stops you from clicking that link? And then you click the link, nothing happens, and you think that's it. But things are happening. The moment you click the link, it could be downloading malware. And so when it comes in, you must safely delete these text messages. Don't do what the rogue is asking you to do. They always sound quite, or most text messages are it's time crucial, or do it now, do it yesterday, and that's how we fall for it. But we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to be the case anymore. So you've got to make sure that you're paying attention. Treat engaging on your phone as if you're at a cash machine, or an ATM as they call it in the US. When you go there, you're not going to be pressing in your pin and doing that and allowing people, to pop in and do stuff, see your stuff. No, you're going to cover it, even though they give you some little things to cover your pin, but you're still looking. Is there anybody, behaving funny around me? So that due diligence, that care and attention must be afforded all your engagements on the phone, on the computer, the tablet, and laptop. All the same, and we've preached that enough times. Okay, so you have, I've just shown you another scam from HSBC. The other one, well, it's not from HSBC, it's purporting to be from HSBC, which is what gets your attention. The other one was from Lloyd's. In all cases, when you receive these messages, which are trending, by the way, so if you've received it, you would know that that's the truth. It's trending. I received this on Wednesday. When was it? Wednesday at 4. Wednesday past. 4:09. It just dropped in. And of course, I did nothing with it. I just deleted it. I did something. I deleted it. But before I did, I took a snapshot so I can show you when we are doing this week's or today's live Q&A. Okay? So that's those are the samples. I said they're trending. I don't know whether this is enough proof to you that they are trending. I showed you 2 I received, in the same week. And I showed you others that I got during the time we were offline. And so it's important to know that it is trending, which means we've got to be on the alert. Our kids have to be on the alert, and they have phones. So if you're not able to train them, how are they to know what to do? As far as they're concerned, it's information. Some of the kids, I would say shame. Well, it's a shame, but some of the kids don't even know what bank accounts they have. Yeah. I say that because our kids now are getting younger and younger and exposed to the internet. So they've not really matured enough, to be on that platform. That's why we must double our efforts to keep them safe. So when they receive a text message, because we've given them a phone, about their bank account, if you don't train them, or a bank account, if you don't train them, they will not know to identify, what is spurious and what is not. So as far as they're concerned, it's a message that's dropped in, and they click a link. It's linked, with the blue color. It's clickable, and they're click happy. It's just the truth. I'm not labeling everyone, but ultimately, our young ones are click happy, and they're not as let me stop damning them, but ultimately we need to protect them from themselves, okay? And that's important, and it's crucially so, all right? Okay, so I've basically touched on a lot of examples, and I think that's enough to start breaking into, or at least getting you to understand what you can do. Okay, it's okay that I say delete the message, but there are other things, and some of them we've shared on videos that we've posted before, which you can go, if you click the playlist up there, you can go through a lot of videos that we have posted that should give you enough information on how or what you should do going forward. Okay, so let me go. As I said, because it's so wordy, I want to read things out and show you on the screen so that you can see them. And of course, I've researched this information online, and I'm just giving it to you as I've received them. I've edited it, of course, to make it friendlier to the community that you're a part of. But ultimately, this information is from the internet. And usually what I do is when I find information that aligns with my experience and knowledge, rather than point you to the site, I adapt it so that you can understand it in simpler terms. That's all I'm doing. I'm not taking credit for this information. The information is out there in the public domain, and I'm just making sure I'm bridging that gap. Remember, you are leveling up. I'm trying to get you to skill up. The idea there then would be that you don't have to hop around. You have somewhere you can go to as a bridge to the information you require to educate your young ones. Okay? So I'm just going to go to the phone so that you can see the information. I start with this disclaimer. Oh, very crucial point, not a disclaimer. It says none of the government agencies, no banks, no other legitimate businesses will ever request personal financial information via text messages. Never. That's not the way they roll. And as long as you understand that, then you are not in any way destitute, or you don't have information about how banks and legitimate businesses operate. They have a standard, and it's best practice. They will not request personal information via text messages because they are aware of scams that happen. So when they do that, they follow a robust procedure that might even involve you going into the bank, okay, where they see you face to face, and you have to confirm your identity or verify your identity by showing proof, passport, driving license, and things like that. So if you know that, then it's clear and it's fair to say that you should not fall for these scams. But the people who fall for the scams, who have this information, are the people who are not paying attention. They are distracted while they're on their phone, and hence are falling for the trick. All right, so take your time. So smishing scams, they work by, and I've mentioned this already, work by a false sense of urgency, by demanding an immediate response. It's always time dependent. And they're doing that as a ploy to get you to act quickly and rush you into making the wrong decision. And that's important. Another point that I've made, and I've written 3 things here: never click on any links. I've said that. I'm saying it again. Never click on any links or call any phone numbers in an unsolicited text or email message. So these scams, smishing scams, email messages will be labeled phishing scams. Never click on any links or call any phone numbers in an unsolicited text or email message. Yes, delete. Zach. Delete. You must delete these messages, and it's important that you do. Delete them. Delete. Don't be nosy. Don't be curious. You could be bringing spam and rubbish into your phone environment. And of course, you bring it in like the WhatsApp scam. The issue is that when you click on it, it not only affects you, but it affects those connected to you. And that's the pain. The WhatsApp scam, if I'm breaking it down well, you all of a sudden you start getting messages about from a genuine contact of yours asking you to do something. And this will not appear unsolicited. This is from a contact you know. And let's say it's a contact you know and you've been dialoguing, you may just accept. And unknown to you, you are verifying someone who is trying to, register on WhatsApp. I think the story goes, people, if you download WhatsApp and you want to use WhatsApp will try to verify you by sending you an SMS or an email. I don't know what they do these days, but ultimately there's a 2-factor or multi-factor authentication that's required. And rather than send it to the person who has requested it, they're able to, through malware and what I call mago mago, they're able to, mago mago simply means trickery. They're able to send the details to you, a contact, and they can verify the WhatsApp process, or at least authenticate in some way, and start using the WhatsApp account or WhatsApp application to do things as if you were doing it. And that's just rotten. I may not have broken it down well, but please watch the video in the info card after this, okay? After the broadcast. So we have never click on any links or call any phone numbers in an unsolicited text or email message. Don't respond in any way to smishing messages is a second. Even to ask the sender to leave you alone. And that's crucial. I think it was Juanita, my Asian family. Juanita that mentioned, why these rogues do what they do. Don't they have a heart? And that's from a young person. And unfortunately, the world we live in is not quite so. They don't have a heart. They don't even know they're doing what they're doing. So you cannot now appear to be all civil and think by responding to the text message you received and telling them to politely leave you alone, that's a good thing. As good as it sounds and as polite as it is, it's actually dangerous to respond with such a message, because all you're doing is verifying that your phone number is active. It's painful. I shiver at the thought of it. Absolutely painful. But that's all it is. Okay? That's all it is. You should not even respond by saying, please, sender, stop sending me messages. No, don't. Because all you're doing is encouraging it, because he will keep trying. He now knows it's active. In fact, he may send you more. Reminds me of I'll drop it there, but you get the idea. Don't respond or send a message even to ask them to leave you alone. It just makes things worse. Okay? And then, of course, like Zachary mentioned, delete. Okay? Delete. Hi, Sunday. Good to have you on board. Yes. Thank you for the encouragement, the support. Like I said, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, behind the scenes, for the past 4 weeks, we've been offline trying to level up and get the platform to where it ought to be in 2021. We had many people who made their presence in the community known, and that's financially. Yes, I said it, financially. And that has helped the platform no end. And we have leveled up, and we're thankful that we've been able to do that with your help, okay? So, yes, I take all support seriously. So, Sunday, thank you very much for your support. Zachary is always online. No matter where he is, in the UK or in Singapore, he's always online. And long may that continue, okay? All right, so the delete is the third one. Delete the message from the phone. You must, because it's the link in the text message is packed with malware. And of course, you can report the suspect message to your cell phone service carrier's spam or scam team, because they're teams. Every vendor has a division that should help you. And of course, we talk about action fraud a lot of times. Those are places you can go, but the vendor, the carrier, would always have a general customer service number that you should be able to dial. Okay? All right. So that's that. So as I said, those three things: never click on any links or call any phone numbers in an unsolicited text message. And email message. Don't respond in any way to smishing messages, smishing text scam messages. Even to ask the sender to leave you alone, that's just a bad idea. In fact, it's a recipe for disaster. All you're doing is encouraging them. Okay? And then we have delete, delete, delete. You can also report suspect messages, as you can see, to the cell phone service carriers general customer service number. Okay, so you must do that. All right. Now, what's the worst that can happen? I've written here that responding to the text message can allow malware to be installed that will silently, doesn't get better, that will silently, will silently steal information. I've written here that it will collect the information silently, your personal information from your phone, and then the thief could do a lot with that information. So your personal information now is in the hand of a rogue. Just imagine it, okay? If they don't use the information for themselves, they'll sell the information, and that's how bad it gets. They may not use it directly because they don't know they don't have the know-how, but they can sell it on. There's a market for personal information, and it's going for big money, you know. So they have incentives. They want money. So if you don't keep the information safe, what hope do you have? Okay? So they may sell it to marketers or other identity thieves who have the technical know-how to cause a lot of harm. The second thing that might happen is that you might end up with unwanted charges on your cell phone. There's some links that you click that, you know, trigger a call charge. The longer you are on that call, the bigger your bill. It's not happening as rampant as it was in the past, but it's still there. These are just things, or this is the worst, one of the two things that can happen, you know, if you click those links. Okay? So I've said that the scammer sets the trap, and he or she, yes, it's not gender specific. You have girls, you have boys, you have ladies, you have men who are spending time to do these things. Okay, so it's important that we know how to tackle them. Okay, what they do is they send you an unexpected text message that appears to be coming from your bank. Like I mentioned, the examples I gave, the Lloyds, the HSBC, coming from that bank, informing you that your account has been hacked. And that it's subject to deactivation. And imagine if you are so dependent on your, you know, card or your online banking, and you're getting a threat that your account is about to be deactivated. It will get your attention. Unfortunately, it's getting your attention not because it's coming from a legitimate place like your bank officials. It's coming from a rogue. So you're giving attention to something that's rogue. All right? So we must not text back. We must not reply. Don't give them the fuel to harm you. Don't respond, okay? I'm still hoping that we would have time once I finish this bit for questions. So please post your questions in the comments. And if you're asking a question, please put Q at the beginning. Good to have you guys on board, all right? So most SMS scam messages or smishing attempts will have a link. And the link is usually to a website that is packed with malware. You know, they will always want you to go to a link to solve your problem. And that's usually what's rogue, okay? So, now that, and I'm still going to come back to another section that will address what should happen if you've already responded. Because some of us have clicked the link and we've kept it quiet. Because it's quite shameful. It's quite shameful if you've fallen for it. I know people who have fallen for this sort of scams and have lost a lot of money, and they're too embarrassed to tell people. And that's not helpful. As I said, you can report it to Action Fraud so that they take timestamps, they take, legitimate information, crucial information that will help build up a defense for others. Maybe it may not resolve your problem, but for others. And you and I should take comfort that our kids are part of the others. So even though you may not see or reap the rewards from talking to action fraud, the fact that you're mentioning it will prevent others like you, especially the kids, from getting affected from these spurious, attempts to get our personal information. So please report it to action fraud where applicable, and make sure that you are channeling, as I said, divisions, the intelligence gathered from reports from victims eventually helps our kids in the long run. Okay? So I don't know whether there are any questions. I'm just looking. I can't see any. So I would just continue. And let's just discuss what happens to you if you've already responded. What to do if you've already responded, if you've already clicked the link. And that's crucial. If you've clicked the link, what do you do? So if you've already responded to a suspicious message, these are the steps you must take. So if you've been tricked into providing your banking details, contact your bank immediately and let them know. As I said, it's intelligence gathering. They're going to gather. They may not fix your problem. A victim is a victim, and I wish that if you've been victimized in this way, that you would get your money back. It's not all cases that money is returned. But I want you to take comfort that others are benefiting from you reporting it. So if you've been tricked into providing your bank details, you must contact your bank and let them know, okay? Now, if you think this is the second point, if you think your account has already been hacked, you just think it. And that may be because you've received messages sent from your account that you don't recognize, or you may have been locked out of your account. Most vendors have HSBC, Lloyds, NatWest. They all have guidance information on their websites on how you can recover a hacked account. Okay, so it will be prudent if you visit those pages to get informed. So if you feel that your account has been hacked, as I said, activity like you're locked out of your account, or you receive information or a message that you don't recognize, things like that, that, as I keep saying, they're red flags that should point you to believing your account is hacked, and then follow what the guidelines say on the website or the web page from your vendor. Okay? The third point, if you've received the message on a work laptop or phone, so if you're the working type and you received it on a phone that your IT department own, then you must report it to IT. Don't dismiss it, because I know that they own the phone and inadvertently you may conclude that it's their problem. No, but they need to know. So you need to tell your IT people, even on your work phone, if you get these messages on your work phone, that this is happening. It's not only your personal phone. Family Cyber Clinic is predominantly targeting families. That's parents and children, okay? But I would also give advice where it's appropriate on what we must do, as it relates to the enterprise, our work. So if you receive the message on a work laptop or a phone, you must contact your IT department immediately. Let them know, okay? If you've opened the link, the fourth point, if you opened the link on your computer or followed instructions to install software, so you've opened the link and then you've installed software, you must run, well, first and foremost, I'm assuming you have antivirus and anti-malware software installed on your system. If you've done it, you must quickly run a full scan using your antivirus and anti-malware software. And of course, because we're talking about SMS, usually SMSs drop into your phone. So what happens if you click the link on your phone? This may be OTT, but it's prudent. I'm assuming that, well, I was going to say like you, because that may be spurious, but you ought to, like we have said in many of the videos on the portal, that you must take backups, regular backups of your phone. If you do that, then the advice I'm going to give you here will not cause you to lose sleep. You must take backups of your entire phone so that if you need to do what I'm advising you to do now, which is to reset your phone. That's how serious these things are. You should reset your phone if you have installed or clicked a link that potentially has installed malware onto your phone. The reason why you have to reset it is because I certainly know that on phones you don't have the antivirus solutions that you have on a laptop or a tablet. So you must, the options that you have, and as I said, this is OTT over the top. You must reset your phone to factory settings. And if you do that, you have scrubbed off or scrubbed out all the nasties and you're starting afresh. But you can only comfortably do that if you're taking regular backups. And we'll strongly recommend, the clinic will strongly recommend that you take regular backups so that you have that option. Some of us who don't take backups may not consider that an option. In fact, it's a dangerous thing to do because you could lose data if you reset to factory. Okay, so you're only resetting to factory if you have a verified backup file. By verified is that you have used that backup to restore your phone in the past and you're constantly updating it so that it is relevant on the day you need it. Okay, so that's important. Very important, but also quite technical. If you've given out your password in this engagement, this is another point, you should change the passwords on all platforms. So if we're talking about personal information is just not your name, your bank account and all that. At times, personal information could include passwords. So you would need to change passwords, all your passwords. And yes, all, which is painful because I suspect through the advice I've given that many of you have many passwords for different platforms, which is the right thing to do. But we would recommend a password manager when you have so many platforms. People have just two platforms, Facebook and email. Some have more. And if you have more and it's getting out of hand because you're following best practice, then get a password manager. And we have a video here and we've recommended some. So click on the info card for that information. You're going to click a lot of clicking. Okay? But you must change your passwords on all platforms if you can. The joy and the benefit of having a password manager is that you may not have to do it for each. You change one and use that one for your platforms, and it's easier that way, but at least it's secure. Okay? Now, the last point is if you've lost money, and yes, many of you have. Many of you have lost money. I've asked this question before. Maybe I'll drop it in with the time that we have. How many of us check our statements regularly? If I told you that 15 pence is being drawn out from your account on a weekly basis, 15 pence, or maybe more, let me make it more alarming, 50p is leaving your account each week. You know that can go under the radar. So you could have released information, you could have unconsciously allowed someone to steal your information to the level where they're able to withdraw 50p every week. And they just do it year in, year out. And you will not know if you don't pay attention to your statements. Now, have I arrived? No, I don't do it that regular. But you must get into the habit of knowing or locating spurious attempts on your account. Because some may have actually gone in. And to make it not obvious, they take little money and they're getting paid for years from wherever in the world. Okay, so if you've lost money or if you identify such a spurious um, entry on your statement, you must tell your bank and, of course, tell Action Fraud immediately. And that's for England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And then in Scotland, you tell the police. By doing this, and this is the point I'm ending on in terms of advice, by doing this, what you're doing is you're helping the battle against criminal activity, and in the process, you're preventing this from affecting others, and those others include your children. Okay, so you may not get the reward instantly, but ultimately by helping report it to the authorities, they're gathering intelligence that will help prevent other victims that may include your young ones. Okay. I think I can safely leave it there. I've still not seen any question. I'm guessing everyone is intrigued about the SMS text. I'll just summarize. What I've basically brought to our attention are scams that are trending, and the scams that are done via SMS, which is referred to smishing. Okay, I mentioned that there are videos in the info card that you can go and get more information about smishing, vishing, and phishing, and that information will help build your knowledge as a parent and as an adult. That will cater for your needs and the needs of your young ones, and that's crucial. I keep saying it's crucial. One big point that we flagged about receiving SMS texts, SMS or text messages that are scam and that have links is that you do not open the message. Well, most of us the message just opens up, but don't click the link. Once you've identified it as spam or scam, I've said the due diligence would be that you would either identify that it is an account that you have in Lloyd's or HSBC. You go to the online portal and verify the information. If it's not there, delete the SMS message or text message. If it doesn't relate to you, it's not a bank you have or recognize, just delete the message. But whatever happens, do not click the link. And we flagged and laughed about it. Delete the message. Delete the message, because anyone can pick up your phone, especially your young ones, and they could click the link. And we've said that silent installs could be happening behind the scenes that are introducing nasties. And you don't want to be in a position where you have no choice but to do a factory reset. For those who take regular backups, a factory reset is not a big deal. But for those who don't, that could be a huge earthquake for you. Okay, and we don't want to put you in that position. That's why we are giving you the information to help you skill up, okay, accordingly. All right, and we touched on what should happen if you have clicked the link or you've been affected and you've done the bits. We gave you a long list. Please rewatch the video. It's too long to summarize, okay? Identifying the red flags. You get a message from an unsolicited individual, or you see information that you don't recognize. Those are all red flags, We advise that if that the internet world is not civil, well, most of it, no, most is, but that's a bit careless. Many on the internet don't have your interest at heart. And so these rogues, and I call them rogues, the rogues are intending to harm you. So if you get a message that you see as scam or spam, there's no need to be polite by saying, please, can you stop sending me these messages? Why are you sending me these messages now? It won't carry, okay? You have control. The control you have is by not acknowledging, but by deleting the message, okay? Other things that I mentioned, you would be able to touch and take on at the end of the video or the broadcast today. And I encourage you to share the information with your friends and family. Okay? Just got a call that you've not been hearing me. Thank you. I just saw the call. No need. You can drop. And I've spoken for quite a while. So I'm just going to mention in the next 3 minutes what I have been. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I get it. The idea is that we've got to make this information go out. Okay? The information has to go out to all the people who would gain from this information. Okay? The information is crucial, as you would agree, but it needs to get on to other people. And so we are hoping that you will subscribe, particularly subscribe. You know, it's usually grayed out if you have subscribed. If you haven't, it will be a red button. So please subscribe to the channel if your button is red. Share it to your friends and family, or share it with your friends and family. And of course, when you subscribe, it will ask you to allow notifications, allow all, so that you will get every alert that we send from the platform, and you'll be up to date each time that you are we are online going live, like you may have received for this broadcast. Okay, so like the information again, all this engagement helps YouTube and Facebook get this information to people who may not otherwise be informed. So you support the channel, not just by your subscription, but by sharing. And you share it not just to your friends, people you're connected to, but to other people, because YouTube and Facebook will see the traffic and say, well, there's information here that others should know, and they will pass that information on. It's called algorithm. Okay, it just messes up with it in a positive way for the community, and that's what we must be pursuing. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that, people. Okay, we would resume our weekly broadcasts from next week. As I said at the beginning, we paused to level up and scale up and get us to where we need to be as a platform in 2021. And we've achieved that with many people on this platform supporting financially. And for that, we thank you. Okay, we're going to the next level, but we're going there together. All right? Okay. It's all I have. Our hour is up. I thank you. And those of you who still have questions, of course, feel free to use the comments to get your questions into the clinic. And of course, we'll answer on the appropriate platforms, Facebook and YouTube. I've been your host. A very, very lovely start to May. It's May already, 5 months into 2021. Time is really flying, but I've enjoyed every bit of it. I thank you for your support, and until next week when we'll be releasing our next video, stay safe, and the future is looking up. Okay, but keep safe. That's the important thing, and get your kids engaged. Thank you. God bless, and goodbye.